Julian Carter believed in routine. Weekends meant coffee at 8:20, sunlight across the mahogany table, his wife Lydia smiling over her phone, and the calm of a well-planned life. He worked as operations director at a logistics firm, someone who trusted numbers because numbers didn't lie. People, he figured, mostly did not either. One Tuesday in October, Lydia hurried downstairs with unusual excitement. A luxury resort group in Hawaii, she said, wanted her branding expertise. A last-minute slot had opened. She needed to be on an evening flight. The email looked professional. The story sounded possible. But the speed, the overpacked suitcases, and the way she carefully explained every detail, those felt wrong. In the same week, Julian's younger brother, Aaron, grew strangely unavailable. Texts came back stiff and formal. His parents, Harold and Miriam, announced a sudden weekend getaway without saying where. None of them were secretive people. Suddenly they were. Lydia left for Honolulu. She sent a few short messages, landed safely, hotel is nice, Wi-Fi is poor, but no calls, no video chats. 2 days later, restless, Julian opened Instagram. He checked Lydia's page. It showed the usual, a serene hotel room and a sunset captioned with "Working hard in paradise." Harmless. He moved on to Lydia's sister Belle, a constant poster with a polished lifestyle feed. Hidden in Belle's tagged photos was a link to a private second account followed by only a handful of people. Julian created a throwaway profile, requested access, and was approved. Inside that account were casual clips, poolside laughs, quick boomerangs, and dinner toasts. In a glass reflection, he caught the profile of a man in a backward cap and a familiar goatee. Aaron. In another short video, a wide-brimmed straw hat with a navy ribbon, the exact one Julian had bought his mother, sat by a cabana chair. In a slow-motion toast, 4 champagne flutes clinked together. On the hands, he recognized Lydia's coral nails, his mother's wedding ring, and his father's engraved signet ring. 4 travelers, 4 people who had told 4 different stories. 1 vacation. Julian's anger didn't spike. It settled. He opened his American Airlines account, his quiet pride of a decade's worth of travel. The balance, once hundreds of thousands of miles, now hovered just above empty. The activity log told the rest. 4 first-class tickets to Honolulu, booked from his home IP address using his stored card and frequent flyer number. The confirmation email had been sent to his inbox and immediately deleted. He phoned the airline. A supervisor named Paula verified the bookings, flagged the reservations, and promised a full activity report with timestamps and IP addresses. It arrived within the hour. That night, Julian protected the perimeter. He moved the balance from the joint account he had funded, removed Lydia as an authorized user from credit cards, updated beneficiaries on retirement and insurance, changed the smart locks, and installed discrete cameras at entry points. Then he called a family law attorney, Noah Burke, who listened, asked if Julian had done anything rash, and advised a path that was firm, legal, and calm. "We'll let them come home," Noah said. "Give them space to speak freely, publicly and truthfully if they choose. Liars often reveal more when they try to keep a story straight." They planned a quiet, welcome committee at the airport. Paula from the airline to document misuse of miles, a fraud prevention colleague to witness, Reverend Thomas Avery from their church, a steady presence who encouraged truth, Janet Ortiz, Julian's HR director, to serve as a neutral observer, Marcus Lee, head of security at Julian's company, to keep tempers from growing into trouble, and Priya Patel, Julian's closest friend and a forensic accountant, to watch from the background. On Saturday evening at JFK, the Hawaiian flight arrived early. Passengers streamed out. Then came Lydia in white linen, Aaron in a bright shirt, and Julian's parents, relaxed and sun-kissed. They were laughing until they saw Julian and the small circle behind him. "Welcome home," he said evenly. Lydia approached, smile poised. "What a surprise!" "What are you doing here?" Paula stepped forward. "I'm Paula Kim with American Airlines. We have questions about reservations made with Mr. Carter's account. For security, we need to verify that the primary account holder authorized this travel." She turned to Julian. "Sir, did you authorize the use of your miles for these passengers?" "No," Julian said, eyes on Lydia. "I did not." The moment stretched. Then words came quickly. Confusion, attempts at redirecting, appeals to privacy. Julian stayed with simple facts. The private Instagram account, the miles log, the shared IP address. Paula noted details for a fraud report. Marcus stood quietly, ready if voices rose. Reverend Avery said little but watched closely. Janet took notes with the cool focus of a professional witness. There is a look that appears when a story collapses. All four faces wore it. The group left the terminal quietly, with no scene beyond their silence. The next morning, guided by Noah, Julian filed for legal separation, citing misuse of assets and deception, attaching the airline records and captured posts. He ended his co-signature on Aaron's credit line and stopped paying bills he had covered for his parents out of habit. At church, he offered one sentence to the board: "I won't lie to preserve appearances." The Reverend extended pastoral care to everyone. In the days that followed, Lydia tried anger, then persuasion. "We can fix this," she said outside the courthouse. "We," Julian answered, "left the house when I did." A year passed. Julian rented a smaller place that fit the person he was becoming, not the image he had been financing. He ran in the mornings and made his own coffee. He worked more on the loading dock than in boardrooms and found the rhythm honest. Janet was promoted. Priya visited often. Their conversations were about clarity, not drama. He still met with Reverend Avery, who taught him that boundaries and mercy can live in the same room without canceling each other. Lydia moved away quietly. Aaron said he was rebuilding. Harold and Miriam wrote from time to time. Julian sometimes replied, sometimes didn't. Belle deleted the secret account. Before it vanished, she sent a final message. "I'm sorry. I mistook attention for love." Julian let it pass without response. His airline miles climbed again. He no longer hoarded them. He booked one ticket at a time, sat by the window, and watched the city fall away. No victory speeches, no grand announcements, just a simple truth. When people showed him who they were, he believed them. When he needed to act, he did so without shouting. When asked how it ended, Julian tells it plainly. It ended at arrivals under harsh lighting and shared air, with 4 people startled and 1 man calm. He brought facts, not fury, witnesses, not noise. The rest, law, paperwork, distance, flowed from that single choice. He learned that silence, used with purpose, is not weakness. It is a boundary that refuses to argue with what evidence already proves. And sometimes it carries you farther than any speech, farther even than Hawaii.